Hello there, welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadel Kabir. I'm so happy that you've joined us once again for our usual political conversations. These conversations are simple, truthful and biased. Prof puts them across in a hard-hitting manner. I've listened to some of your conversations recently and I don't know why you're so angry. But before we get to talk about our conversation for today, so far in politics, how are you though?
Fine, Judge.
You're fine?
Oh, fine.
You have a nice shirt.
Thank you.
Where is it from?
America.
I need to buy
United States of R.
Can I buy my dad a shirt from the US?
You have to go there.
I have to go there.
When I go, you can send me.
But people are angry with you. Your video on Saturday, it's as if you're not that scholar people thought you are when it comes to term limits.
I'm not that?
You're not that scholar. So they're saying...
I've never said I'm a scholar.
People say you are. That's why I've said people say you are.
Tell them I'm not a scholar.
Abraham is saying, no.
Where I work, people tell Manyora is not a scholar. Continue, yes.
Mr. Herman Manyora, you're dead wrong and misleading Kenyans. Kenya has never had a good leader, not even Kibaki was good. Now he's speaking about your issue with term limits and you're saying it's not the term limit that is an issue, it's about the leaders. And you said we need to have a good leader more or less so that we don't think about term issues, but we've never had a good leader according to him.
So term limits are better?
So term limits are better. What's your thought? What would you tell
It's
Abraham
wrong.
from...
I said, and I made myself clear. You know, the problem with people, and this is the risk of handling a sensitive topic like that, even just a sensitive title. When you put a title somewhere on a video, or even a newspaper or opinion article, many people don't go beyond the title. That's where the danger is. They discuss the title. A video, they discuss the title. Or the topic in general, without going into the details.
Yeah.
Like you are watching news with people, and the news starts, an item starts, and they begin discussing it. So you want to know, what are they discussing?
Yeah.
That's where the danger is. I said clearly, forget about life presidency. Forget about somebody going for 3, 4 terms. Even 1 month in office is dangerous. If you give a person 5 years, he doesn't need 20 years to destroy a country. 5 years are enough to destroy a country. So even that one term you give to anybody. So limiting somebody to 10 years, to me, doesn't even serve any purpose. 10 years is more than enough to destroy a country. The damage of 10 years will take 100 years to repair. So what is the point of a term limit? The people must be told to stop being lazy. When you are given Raila and Ruto, choose wisely. Ask yourself, why am I choosing Raila? What does Raila stand for?
You had this...
Why am I choosing Ruto?
You talked with...
Don't say, let me give Raila, then he'll be there for 5 years. No. 5 years are enough for Raila to destroy the country.
I'm saying
5 years are enough for Ruto to mess the country. Look, we are crying today because we were told by many people, including our friends and international partners and friends. They told us you cannot get somebody facing ICC and give him the presidency. We said, no, we are a sovereign state, and yet we are beggars. We said, don't choose leaders for us. What we are suffering from today is exactly the consequences of us putting Uhuru and Ruto in power. Let me tell you this. And that man who has, I hope he listens. Abraham, if you know Abraham and he has not listened, tell him to listen to me now. If you have a case, I've had a case, a small case, no, just defamation. I said something on TV and somebody took me. As I was traveling to Kakamega for the case, there were butterflies in my stomach.
Yeah.
A simple thing. Any case you face, you cannot just sleep. People who have faced theft charges, people like Okemo who are waiting to be taken to Isle of Man, because of that money, whatever it calls, Kenagishuru. If you look at them, you can't know them. Riungu from Central Bank, I think he died. Koinange, he died when the case was going on. A case is not a laughing matter. You think, well, look where he is, even if he was not in jail, he could be a man. When you are facing a case, my friend, you can't be yourself. So if a president is facing international crime, where is the time to dedicate to the running of the country? A lot of things will go wrong, not because he's a bad person, because the burden of his carrying of an ICC case is serious enough. And therefore, Ruto and Uhuru started on a very bad note. And the corruption you saw in the first term, I want to think it is because these two gentlemen had their attention at the Hague and not on the country. So what am I saying in summary? I'm saying, my friend, don't talk about term limits. 5 years is more than a person needs to destroy a country.
My thoughts when
A principal does not need more than 3 years to destroy a school. A school that has been developed over the years with a good tradition, you bring a lousy principal and in 3 years, it's not a school. It's finished.
I'm saying my thoughts when you had this conversation with Okenye at first.
Yes.
I said I had an issue with that because sometimes people elect demagogues.
Yes.
And we cannot blame them because some of them, they fall into the tongue of the politician and they accept it. Don't you think the framers of the Constitution had that in mind when they came up with the term limit saying, these people, if we give them the power, they might continue electing demagogues,
Yes.
and our country will not move on. Don't you think
Fine.
that is a reasonable enough for term limits?
There are two things. I've thought about this. Anybody who is saying, I'm not a scholar, but I think about things. I've thought about that. So one, you have the power to elect a good president. Or a bad one. Who does not need more than 2 terms to destroy your country. So that 1 term is enough for him to destroy your country. So you have to filter him. Instead of saying, let's put term limits, you must make sure he does not become president. You have that power. But let us assume, yes, because he has such a sweet tongue.
Yeah.
Hustler, fund, Mama Mboga.
You're not talking about Ruto, are you?
No, I'm just saying about somebody with a sweet tongue. So he gets power. Is that the end of you? People have the sovereign power. If somebody went to State House by mistake, by fluke, you have the power to remove him from there, very democratically. If he went astray. So be careful in who you elect. Don't be lazy that you can elect anybody. Then somebody will put for you term limits. No. Because 1 year is enough to destroy a country. Not even 1 term.
Okay.
But let's say by bad luck, or for some reason, you have elected a bad person into office. Or you didn't know this person was bad. And these true colors come out. Because like Michelle Obama says, the president doesn't make somebody bad. It reveals who he is. Maybe you didn't know.
Okay.
It's not that the power that now changes a person. The power now reveals who the person is. That's Michelle Obama in her autobiography, Becoming. So supposing now the president reveals who this animal really is. Nifisi. Now, you are still sovereign. You have the power. You can remove him, even midstream. Okay? Through your elected leaders. There's provision for impeachment. Again, it goes back to you electing the right MPs. Because if the president begins to overstep his bounds, begins to show the dictator tendencies and practices, you should have elected good men and women who will take him home for violating the Constitution as provided for in the Constitution. He can be impeached.
Okay.
Assuming your MPs also, you are wrong about them. They can't do that for you. Don't demonstrate. That's not the best. Don't riot. No. Persevere until the term is over. 1 term. Then send him home.
Then that's...
It's just as simple as that.
Isn't that then the reason?
It's just as simple as that.
But what if we get to a situation, let me just think outside the box a little bit, and this person can rig the system.
Yes.
And we have this situation in
We have
different
gone through it in this
democracies.
country of rigged elections.
Yes. What do you do in that situation? Does that mean this person can stay in power for
The
life?
sovereign power lies with the people. Everybody who occupies a public office occupies that office on behalf of the people of Kenya. You are a president courtesy of donated power by the people of this country. They can recall that power anytime. So if people want William Ruto in power, and somebody else rigs him out, the people can say no. Because it is their country. It is their power. It's not even difficult for people to say no. No. Without any violence. The people can just say no. If the people say no, they'll say no.
No,
It's as simple as that.
What does that?
The people just say no. Look here. And I want to use very simple examples. And I'm a teacher, so allow me to use micro examples from my sector.
Yeah.
A school is doing very well. A principal comes. He spoils the school. I saw in Kakamega High School, and I can mention, a man came there. A school with the trees that had been planted by the colonial people. Alikata yote akapasua mbao, akang'oa mizizi akachoma makaa.
Yeah.
A DC came to Vihiga. People know who I'm talking about. He cleared the forest, Managoli forest. Historical, cultural, environmental, name it. He cut all the trees at DC. In that Vihiga County where I come from, there were leaders. They watched us, an outsider, clear the forest until the trees, we were now seeing stones. Up to now, we are trying to do something about it. There's a young man now in charge of environment, CEO, Dr. Boyo. I hope he will succeed. I think he told me he wanted to fence Managoli forest. They are doing afforestation. The leaders, including some very powerful cabinet ministers, they were just watching as one individual messed the whole heritage, messed the environment, messed tradition. The teacher in Kakamega High School destroyed the school. And the people there, a teacher can destroy a school, a principal. And all the others are just... You would think he's the only qualified teacher. Then you'll discover on that staff of 50 teachers, there are more than 30 teachers who are more qualified than him academically. Or even 35. He's in the minority. So it's not a qualification. He's just a human being, given a title of principal. That also applies to a country. There is no way in the 21st century a president can mess a country as we all watch. Then we ask for term limits. We are just stupid people.
Yeah, I really...
We can't tell him enough is enough. Because the president today cannot enjoy the powers Jomo Kenyatta enjoyed. You talk the way I'm talking like this, you are detained. So if he doesn't have all those powers to detain, to do all manner of things Moya and Kenyatta were doing, why wouldn't we politely remind our president that this is our country, together with him and his children and grandchildren? And it looks like he's unable to continue. And you tell him, please, you have not gotten into office in the right ways. We shall not accept this. Even the Supreme Court may give the ruling or judgment that is not right or correct because it knows the citizen is docile. But if the citizenry is active, the people are active, wako lido, wako macho, all institutions, including the police, the judiciary, and everybody, will take their work seriously. So the people of this country should not go to bed and sleep and say we are safe in term limits. Democracy never works like that. Democracy is as good as how vigil you are as people.
I wanted us to talk about so far in politics, and I think time is running up, but you've said even if elections are rigged,
yes,
people still have the past. People
to correct the things.
Does that mean that even the accusations that have been there with Raila Odinga from 2007, 2013, and this year's elections,
yes,
does this mean that he doesn't know how to take charge of the people? If he is factual on these elections being rigged, what should he have done? Because so far, nothing has happened.
Raila has had his own approach to dealing with a rigged election. That's Raila. But the people can act without even Raila. If the people said, no, you cannot be president, it's simple. You are just president because people want you to be president. But if people said, no, how can you be president?
Do you think Raila could
Will you be the first person for people to tell the president to leave State House?
Could he have done more? Should he have done more if he believed?
I said that is his style. Miguna has said is a coward. That is Miguna.
Yeah.
But that's Raila's style. Maybe he thinks about country much more than the rest of us do. He knows sometimes when people agitate, maybe it could get out of control. And he's not ready for those kind of consequences. He doesn't think he needs power that much to be able to risk anarchy.
That's Raila for you.
Are you there?
Let's continue with this conversation. So far in politics, what is happening in the country in our next conversation? I'm being told by Rakim to wind up. But until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.